Obviously here in Panama, we learned a lot about the LAC region, the local cultures. It's always much more beneficial to be able to come to the customer's region and learn from them direct what their pressures are, what their priorities are, how they like to work, and also you get a bigger group of people here. So it's when you come to them, you get a larger range from across the organisations. And particularly this week, I was privileged to be asked by CANSO to run a CEO workshop on day one of the conference. And that's the second workshop that we've run on behalf of CANSO. The first one we did 2 years ago in Guatemala. And really what we're trying to do is come up with a strategic plan for the region. And where previously we might have focused on perhaps specific technologies, this year we took a different view, and we learned a lot about how ANSPs want to control their organisations in the future as perhaps more corporatised air navigation service providers. So giving them the accountability and the empowerment to run their organisations and to solve the pressures of technology, of economics and of people. As associate members, we're always looking to get value out of our membership. It's very much optional whether we join CANSO or not. So we need to see that value returned. And value of events is something that as associate members we've always had a particular view on. And I've noticed a real change in how CANSO is approaching that. So this week, for example, I mentioned the workshops that we ran on the first day. And previously, CEO workshops were a closed shop. We weren't, as associate members, we weren't allowed in the room. And here in Panama, the associate members that attended were allowed into the CEO workshop as observers. And so they got to sit and listen to the CEOs as they spoke amongst themselves and with me as the facilitator, again about their pressures. And it does give you an insight as an associate member to hear what the local CEO are thinking. Additionally, there's always been exhibitions at the regional conferences, but this year in Africa and also here in Panama, part of the conference program involved taking delegates of the CEO who were present around the exhibition stands, where the facilitators from CANSO introduced CEOs from the region to the various exhibitors to talk about their products and how those products could solve the challenges within the region. And that really impressed me. Like on that one day, I just saw so much added value for the associate members in particular. And we've not had a separate AGM now for a couple of years, and I myself, when I heard there wasn't going to be a separate AGM, was a little disappointed, because there's those events, where we meet our customers, they're so valuable to us as associate members. But now with Airspace World, with the African conferences, with the LAC conference, with the APAC conference, all of which are adding more and more opportunities for us as associates to connect on a quite intimate level with our customers. We're really seeing that value now being delivered. So instead of maybe 2 touch points that we used to have each year, we're now getting 6 or 7 touch points. And CANSO's talked a lot about value for members and associate members in particular. And over the last 6 years, we've seen a lot of change as CANSO tries to really figure out what that means and how to deliver that. Coming to the end of my term as a CANSO director, and I've seen that change over the 6 years. We'll be looking for a new associate member rep to fill the vacancy at the AGM in Lisbon, and I'll be in Hong Kong. If anybody wants to come and ask me about the role, I'm absolutely delighted to tell them what it involves, what it's brought to me, what I think it might have brought to CANSO. So please do come and talk to me in Hong Kong.